और मंच पे विराजमान सभी महानुभाव, इस हॉल में उपस्थित सभी पंच महाभूत आत्मा सह मन आत्मा इंद्रिय सब लोग यहाँ पर आप पधारे और हम लोगों को यहाँ ये मौका दिया, इसलिए मैं आपको आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। रिगार्डिंग दिस मुझे ये दायित्व दिया गया है कि मैं आज की इस परिस्थिति के बारे में कुछ बताऊं। तो गुरुजी, more than 700 delegates is from across the India, Karnataka, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jammu and other places, doctors and PG UG students. 2011 we have made in a Limca book, Asia book and India book of record with all of my colleagues team, and today also all of my colleagues team might आपके आशीर्वाद और डेस्टिनी रही तो हम भी इस साल गढ़प्रभा आयुर्वेदिक कॉलेज को इस बुक में सम्मिलित कर सकते थे। क्यों कर पाएंगे? क्योंकि मोर देन 500 यूजी पीजी के स्टूडेंट्स है। इट इज़ द लार्जेस्ट व्हाट आई नो, जहाँ तक मेरे पास जो ज्ञान है उसमें आज तक कभी नहीं हुआ है। उनकी जो कुछ भी फॉर्मेलिटीज़ है वो की है, उन्होंने जो कुछ मांगा है वो हमने किया है। और अगर ये प्रस्तावित हो गया तो अगले साल की बुक में घटप्रभा, आपका आशीर्वाद और एपीए सब लोग ये हो पाएगा। और ये इसलिए हो पाएगा कि पूरी एपीए की टीम खड़ी हो जाए, इस हॉल में एपीए की टीम है जितनी भी है वो खड़ी हो जाए। सर, मैं जो कुछ भी हूँ मेरे इन बच्चों की वजह से हूँ, मैं सिर्फ निमित्त हूँ। मैं इन सब लोगों का आभारी हूँ, मेरी फैमिली, मेरे पेशेंट्स और आप सब लोगों का मुझे ये करने का मौका मिला। थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू वेरी मच। More than 30 PG students are presenting the research paper only on the subject of मलमार्ग व्याधि के ऊपर, proctology के ऊपर, मैडम, for your reference. We couldn't get more because of the examinations of Karnataka and Maharashtra. Otherwise, we had a large number. We have some other limitations, and surprisingly, more than 15 posters is available. We have 34 screen the patients, and although Ayurvedic and modern, both the faculty, we have decided to operate the largest one. And particularly from the modern faculty, Dr. Santi, if it is there in the hall, from Usmaniabad University College, if she is there, she is there. One of the other dignitaries is coming from the Pune. We have not paid anybody, sir. They came for on with the love of Ayurveda and love of Diksar Sutra. They will perform the modern, and it will be an integrated approach to the students. We will be inspire them, and they will think to come in this branch and serve the nation better made. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
महाराज निरंजन जगतगुरु श्री गुरुसिद्धा राजगोविंद्रा, Dr. Shri B.R. Patil, our chief guest, inaugurator guest, Dr. K.B. Lingegoda. He is the registrar, Rajiv Gandhi University Health Science, Bangalore, Karnataka. Our guest of honor, Shrimati Meenakshi Lekhi from the Indian Forest Service, Commissioner, Department of Ayush, Government of Karnataka, Bangalore. Distinguished guest on the dais, and ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to be here today among you all on the occasion of your conference on 29th and 30th and the inauguration program. We from the forces are generally not associated too much with the programs like this. I would like to thank Dr. Patil and Dr. Samudri, who have been kind enough to invite me among you all. I started just like all the student out here, I started my career also in the uniform way back in 1983. 82 I finished my graduation, and 83 I joined the forces. From last 36 years I am in the uniform, performing duties all over the countryside. Recently we have come, I was in Jammu and Kashmir about 2 tenure, Uttarakhand, Arunachal, maybe in UP, and Jammu and Kashmir, of course, quite a lot of time. And now here in Belgavi district of Karnataka, in northern part of the Karnataka, we are performing our national duty, which is important for all of us. I know the profession of the medicine, the doctors, is a very demanding, very poised, and very, very committed. You serve the person when they really need, and they are looking towards the God and you. So I really adore you, I really honor you, and respect you all from my core of my heart. The Association of Ayurvedic, which is started up, coming up, not recently. I think this is one of the oldest form of medicine about the human treatment. Only thing is, somehow, in some way, we have lost the track, and now we are coming back. I would just request all the young doctors who are doing BAMS, PG, MD, and all that specializations, try and use the best part of the allopathic medicines and how those things can be utilized in the Ayurvedic, and try and do the best which is possible for the treatment of a common man. About this hospital as such, which I have a little different opinion about the northern Karnataka, that it is not that developed. I'm sorry about it now. I have a different opinion. See, this is one of the oldest hospital in the cooperative by the all honorable people who have started, worked. Let me tell you, it is so difficult to muster resources and develop something of this nature in the area where the treatment is really needed. I would honor and pay my respect to all the founder members and the present members of the cooperative society who are running this hospital and carrying out a selfless service to our brave citizens and when they are really needed the treatment. Thank you very much for inviting me here, Dr. Patil, Dr. Samudri, and every one of you. I'm delighted, I'm honored, and thank you once again. Have a nice day, please.
A life merely on the basis of a heart of it. So let me introduce our guest of honor, Srimati Meenakshi Negi ma'am. She has completed her BSc from Delhi University, MSc in Forestry from Dehradun, and MPhil as an officer in an Indian Forest Service. And from May 2007 to August 2007 as an Executive Director, Jungle Lodges and Resort in Karnataka. And from August 2007 to 2010, Deputed to Government of India as a Director Ayush. From 2013 to 2015 May as a CEO of National Medicinal Plants and Boards. And from July 2015 to 2018 posted as APCCF, and from July 18 till date Commissioner Ayush Department of Health and Family Welfare. And she has on an international platform like Geneva and Thailand. Though she is from Dehradun, but she is very well versed in Kannada. And it shows her dedication. She is a role model for a woman who strive hard to gain name and a fame in a society. So she is definitely an icon of a woman empowerment. So we are very lucky to have you, ma'am, as a guest of honor today. Welcome you, ma'am. And I request ma'am to address the gathering.
Param Pujya Swamiji avare, Dr. Lingegowda avare, Indrajit Pal avare, the principal, the faculty, the honorable members of the founding members and the members who are sitting on the dais and who have started this wonderful organization and have given their lives to the organization. Dear students, staff, and friends. See, I always say that the future of healthcare lies in integration. We cannot have the kind of disease burden that society is suffering from today. We cannot have a single system of healthcare which could meet all our health needs. We need multiple healthcare systems for the multiple disease burden that we are facing today. In that connection, especially in India, India is a society in transition, as you all know. We have the very affluent, islands of affluence, and we have a sea of deprivation. So we have a disease burden which is like unlike anywhere else in the world. In the Western world, they are suffering from diseases brought on by affluence, from affluent lifestyles. We, on the other hand, are suffering from a dual burden. We have affluent lifestyles and the disease burden coming out from there, lifestyle disorders, as well as we have extreme malnutrition, poverty, communicable diseases, malaria, dengue, you name it. So, in a scenario where the health infrastructure is under so much of pressure and stress from so many kinds of diseases, we definitely need a platform where everybody can come together and give relief to the patient. Ultimately, the motto, the Hippocratic oath that we take is that the patient, we should give it whatever we have to give to relieve the patient. So what is it that we have? This institute is an example. Really, it's an eye-opener for me also, as Indrapalji just said that it was an eye-opener for you when you came here and saw. And frankly, even though I have worked in Ayush for the last 10 years now, it is a real eye-opener for me that an integration of this sort, where there is an allopathic hospital, the oldest hospital in the cooperative sector, which is purely allopathic, in conjunction with a college, which is purely Ayurveda, and a naturopathy hospital. And I believe college also, we have a naturopathy college? College also. So this is the ideal kind of integration that is required in today's society. And this is a model for the rest of the states and even for Karnataka and other parts of Karnataka to follow. So my congratulations to all of you, people who have participated in this conference and are going to participate for the next 2 days. And Sharasutra, by the way, when I was in Government of India, for the information of those who may not know, we used to have these international delegates from America and Japan and Germany. They're looking at Ayurveda and yoga and naturopathy as systems to give them answers for not only lifestyle-related disorders, but also for upcoming, for cancer care, for palliative care in cancer, for looking for leads to relieve society of the disease burden that is upcoming. Every day there are new diseases which are coming up. And they looked at Sharasutra very carefully. When we mentioned it to them, they went all the way to BHU. They studied Sharasutra under Dr. Sahu. Many of you may be knowing him. So, and they studied it, and they are going to perfect it. And I believe in Japan, it is the mainstream intervention in anorectal disorders. That is the level to which they have taken it. And it is our science. And it is the most, I think it is the most suited. But I was also talking to the faculty members here, and I was wondering if Shalya in Ayurveda should be limited only to Sharasutra, or should it go to some other condition? Because Sharasutra really has raised the profile of Ayurvedic surgery. So similarly, if you could intervene in some other, I'm sure there is a lot of research going on, and you are the people who are the forefront of it. And for the students especially, I would like to say that this is the healthcare system for tomorrow. And I was discussing with the president of here that today healthcare is not health-driven. It is not health-centric. It has become medicine-centric. It is driven by medicine. So because new medicines are coming up, new drugs, so it has become a pawn in the hands of the drug MNCs and others. That is where Ayurveda has to step in, and Ayurveda has to say that we don't need drugs. We have prevention, we have prevention of disease, we have promotion of health, and with all this integrated package, if we go forward, I think that is where India should be in the future. And with all these young practitioners who are going to take it forward, my best wishes to you. And I congratulate everybody who is a part of this conference. It's wonderfully organized. And I'm so glad I accepted the invitation and came here this afternoon. Thank you so much for having me here, listening to me. And I assure the college management that whatever little I can do in my capacity, I will do to further the cause of Ayurveda. Thank you so much.
सहस्रशीर्षं देवं विश्वाक्षं विश्वशम्भुवम् दृश्यते श्रूयतेऽपि वा
Thank you, Swamiji. It is both honor and privilege to introduce our chief guest, Dr. K.B. Lingegowda, Registrar Evaluation, RGHS. He has completed his MBBS degree at Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. He has completed his post-graduation in anesthesia at Kasturba Medical Health Sciences. He has attended many...
Will you please rise for 30 seconds? All of you, I know how difficult it is to sit in this hall, because I always put myself in that chair, because it is easy to sit here. No, sir, you need not get up. We have been doing this exercise. If you want, you can just raise your hand. After my speech, Pujya Swamiji's Ashirvachana is there, which is very important. And for a surprise, usually at the end of the meeting, people keeps going out. But I mean, this is the reverse. People have started joining here to take the blessings of Pujya Swamiji. I am really happy. Swamijigala Padaravindagalli Namaskarisutta. Ee Shubha Divasa. How many of you don't understand Kannada? Will you please raise your hand? Oh, significantly. It cannot be Konglish, then I have to speak in English only. Then I'm Mera Hindi bahut kharab hai, unlike Dr. Mahesh or our Dr. Singh's. Dear friends, I am not going to address anything. Dr. Mahesh has already told about your field. Probably in another 10 minutes, I will tell about my journey, how I have reached this stage. Everybody has struggled hard. Nothing comes easily, please understand. When he was mentioning that you people have come from all parts of our country, it is not the national conference, because we can say that this is an international conference. Last week, myself and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, we were in Europe, traveling from one country to another country, we were traveling by either by road or by flight. It was so close by. But to travel from Himachal Pradesh or JK, it is so difficult. After having lunch, I was just, even now he can see here, you people are really blessed to study in this JJ Cooperative Society. The very reason, the infrastructure and the blessings of Lord Mallikarjun. Please understand one thing, unless you get the blessings of parents and gurus, you will not achieve anything. I started my journey in a village. Till 10th standard, I was used to walk 6 kilometers every day. After that, my journey changed. Why I'm telling this is, you people have got some kind of inferiority saying that you are inferior to allopathic doctors. Never have that, I'll tell you. I always tell this to my nursing colleagues. I always tell this to my social workers. I always tell this to pharmacists. Everybody is equal. Everybody is important in their own field. Only when everybody joins, we can give good care to the patients. It doesn't matter whether you are an Ayush doctor or allopathic doctor or a nurse. It is the human touch which matters. I've been working in Kidwai Cancer Institute, which is the second biggest cancer hospital in the country from last 27 years. I've got immense satisfaction of treating cancer patients. What you need is the human touch, that matters. We people in our busy schedule, we hardly give time to any patients. We always tell in palliative care, 70% of the time we must allow patient to speak, only 30% of the time we must speak. But it is the other way around. We don't even listen to their problems. So your role as a doctor, in fact, while coming, I was talking with our Dr. Vijay, your role has got significant effect in the society. I have observed, in fact, when I branched out to palliative care in Kidwai, because I'm basically an anesthesiologist, people are asking, what is wrong with you, Lingegowda? Why you are branching out to palliative care, always seeing dying patients? Because if you are working in a hospital where you are seeing new children, you will get sweets. But when you work in a hospital like Kidwai, every day you will be seeing 3-4 deaths. After some 8 days, they will come with a 11th day ceremony card, Tithi card. Now why I am telling this is, it gives immense satisfaction when you treat somebody. Put yourself in that particular situation when you are sick. Who is going to treat? When somebody listens to you, you think that God bless you, dear. In fact, 2 years back, I was at Gulbarga. We had our Kidwai branch at Gulbarga. Our Honorable Minister called me for one important meeting. In fact, that day happened to my birthday. But Minister insisted that I have to come. So before taking lunch, I thought I must visit a temple. So I was going to that Hanuman temple. One lady, she just stopped me, asked me, Swami, Chanagidira. Swami, how are you? Then I asked her, how the mat Chanagidivi, ನೀವು ಯಾರು ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ನೋ ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆನಲ್ಲಿದ್ವಿ, ಪ್ರತಿ ದಿವಸ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನಾವು ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಶಿ ಸೆಡ್ he passed away 3 months back, but you used to come and see us every day in Dharmashala. Then that day I felt that God, Hanuman has really blessed me on my birthday. Because, believe me friends, whenever you come across, you need not be a patient. When you go back to your hometown, even if you're an elderly person, when you come across, just talk to him. Put your hand across him. Just shake. Kissing patients. But we need not practice that. But when you come across any patients or elderly people here, please talk to them. Just sit with them. It makes so much difference. They will not ask whether you are an allopathic doctor or Ayurvedic doctor. Whether you are a nurse or a social worker or a volunteer, they think that you have come in the form of God. Now why I am telling this is, in this holy place, they are conducting this workshop. I am happy to know that you have joined in such huge numbers. It's really great. That shows that there is some vibration with the blessings of Pujya Swamiji. Make use of it. When you go back, dream that you must become another Dr. Mahesh in your area. Why not? You must have a aim. You must have a aim that I must become another aim. In fact, I was remembering our Dr. M.C. Modi, sir. Have you heard about Dr. M.C. Modi? Yes. Who had done almost millions of cataract surgeries. They're all simple people. Don't think that he is a normal person. He's a supernatural person. He has come here with some purpose to treat the society. All of you, when you become doctors, they will not ask. In fact, you are the one who are working in most of the corporate hospitals. Whenever you're treating any persons, I still believe, in 1997, first time when I went to UK, the staff nurse called Jilliban, she sent back after training, she told me, Lingegoda, when you go back to India, treat every person that she is your mother. Treat every person that he or she is the President of India. How many of us will get the time? I do understand when you're treating 100 patients, it's difficult. But always listen to the patients. At most, it's very important. Think that your own kith and kin is there in the hospital. Really, it matters. That is the reason I'm telling you have taken the great specialty. In fact, last Saturday, I was at one Ayurvedic hospital at Nelamangala. Next Saturday, I'll be coming to Inchagi. And last month, I was at Mundrigi. I think I'm going to change it to Ayurveda specialty, the way it looks like that. Dear friends, make use of your this precious time. And when I was just passing, the way the stalls they were showing, I was really astonished to see that. And so much procedures are done by Ayurvedic doctors. In fact, I was talking with Dr. Kottanan where he was telling, in this particular region, there is so much demand. Treat that. They will always remember, when somebody gets cured, they will always remember that they will bless you. That is the reason all of us are kept in a good place. And try to respect the teachers, because for your growth, your parents are really working hard to get you educated. And there is so much opportunity. In fact, as our guest of honor, Srimati Meenakshi Negi was telling, there is so much opportunity in Western countries. We could meet a couple of Ayurvedic departments in Germany. There is so much demand. Only thing is, you people, instead of seeing that which is the best movie in a nearby city, you must Google and find out that the travel grant to attend International Yoga Conference in California. Next, Ayush workshop, which is going to be held in Australia. There is so much grant. Only thing is, you are not attending, you are not putting your effort. And try to do some research activities. In fact, from Rajiv Gandhi Health University, we are giving a lot of opportunities. Even for undergraduate level, we are coming with several projects. Only thing is, you must ask. Take the help of your teachers. I'm sure before he leaves, take his email ID and mobile number, trouble him. Don't think it is a trouble. They will love to help you people. Only thing is, if you put one step forward, persons like him, they will push you 3 steps forward. Only thing is, you must make use of that opportunity. I have gone to several countries, not because of anything else, please understand, because of my palliative care background. In country like India, where we are seeing 80% of the patients in advanced stage of cancer. One of my friend, I think the principal was talking about palliative care without knowing that I am from palliative care background. I have been in palliative care from last 27 years. All these 80% of the patients, they need palliative care. We know that he or she is going to die with this advanced cancer. But how their death will be? Everybody wants to die with dignity. But the sad situation is, they will die in such miserable state. The people who have got money, they will go and get admitted in the corporate hospitals. But those who don't have money, they will die at their home with miserable pain. I'm sure with your Ayurvedic background, you can give some medicines. More than medicines, your just speech, your mere presence makes a lot of difference. So when you go back to your respective places, always talk to the patients, always talk to the elders, give respect to the elders, take the blessings. And I'm really extremely happy And I would love to come here once again to this prestigious institute. And I'm happy that JG Cooperative Society was in fact, when they were just showing the thing, before I was born, this institute has started and it has grown to this level. I wanted to ask Swamiji, ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳಿ. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಏನೂ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ತಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ, ಭಗವಂತನ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಇದೆ. ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ನರ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲೇಜು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳಿ. ಐ ಕುಡ್ ಸಿ ಅವರ್ PTZ cameras because I will be seeing all you people from university when exam is going on. And I wish you all the best during your presence and enjoy today's evening program. In fact, I wanted to stay because tomorrow we have got our syndicate meeting at Belgaum. That is the reason myself and our commissioner has come here. Make use of your presence. When you go back, you must go with fresh memories that you can make significant impact in your locality or in your college or to your teachers. Always write some projects and present in international conferences. That is the one which takes you to the long distance. Just getting degree from JJ Cooperative Society, it's not going to make any difference. Always make it a point before. Only with that, you'll be recognized. So it doesn't matter medical college or you have come in a Benz car, only your publication speaks. So that is the reason, make use of your presence here, and when you get the degree, you must feel proud that you have passed out from this kind of prestigious organizations. I want to thank all the board of directors, principals, and the management for having invited. Be always be part of this JJ Cooperative Society. Jai Hind, Jai Swamiji.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking address.
In Belagavi and has to his credit 52 great years of social service. After completion of his basic education, he dwelled into social work and became the chairman of the village panchayat in Naganur. Being in this position, he ensured the granting of permission for various facilities like drinking water facility, banking, high schooling, primary health care, pet clinics, etc. As the founder chairperson, he started the Mahalingeshwar Educational Organization, Sri Lakshmi Mahila Organization, and Sri Mahalingeshwara Cooperative Credit Society. He got various awards like Sri Raksha Prashasti, Shrestha Sahakari, International Gold Star Millennium. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಬೆನ್ನೆಲುಬಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ BR ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ನಾಗನೂರ್ ಅವರು ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡಬೇಕೆಂದು ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ.
ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಯಾದಂಥ ಲಿಂಗೇಗೌಡರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಮೀನಾಕ್ಷಿ ನೇಗಿಯವರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ದ ನನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಹಪಾಠಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂಧುಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾನೇನು ಭಾಳ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿನಂತಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಹಕಾರ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಮೊದಲು ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಡೀತೈತಿಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ವು. ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದಾಗ ಒಂದೇ ನಂಬರ್ ಐತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗೈತಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ
Two persons from practitioners. Very fast because the dignitary has to be leave the place and catch the flights. Number one, any UGPG students come to this for 2 minutes.
All the dignitaries on the dais, students and dear friends. I think it has been my pleasure as well as wonderful moment for whole APA faculty and fraternity to be here in Ghatprabha. The hospitality and the warm gesture they have shown in organizing this event is commendable. I think the arrangements are excellent, the food has been excellent, and I think all are satisfied with this program, and I think it is going to be a lifelong remembrance. Thank you.
Dignitaries on the dais, and experienced proctologists, delegates, my classmates, juniors, seniors, and all present here. We are here from last 2 days getting knowledge about the practical aspect of the proctology. We rarely get to know the surgeries, get to see the surgeries, but this is an opportunity where all the students from this institution and around the institutions are getting hands-on experience of the knowledge of the respect of the members, all the members of APA, and they are sharing their experience, because this is very rare where a doctor shares his experience with this type of gathering. So I thank the APA members and all the present here for giving us opportunity. Thank you very much.
कोई भी एक अपने में से पीछे आ जाओ. Excellent. Give him a big hand.
Hello everyone, my name is Shraddha Saner and I'm from Gadinglas, Maharashtra. And it's really nice and a very excellent experience here. And all of us from Gadinglas is enjoying this conference and enjoying the food, obviously. So thank you so much for this. Thank you so much, all of you.
Both the food.
Yeah, both the food for the mind and for the tummy also. Thank you.
It is said that history repeats itself. And in 2000, when we had the first gathering, our chief guest was Dr. Chandrasekhar, VC of Rajiv Gandhi University, and the guest of honor was Dr. Mahesh Sanghvi. Look at the coincidence. Today also, the both are here, and I hope this association of all you people will be there forever with this institute. Thank you very much, sir.
ಸಲೆಂದು ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಆಶೀರ್ವಚನವನ್ನು ನೀಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ.
A national level conference and workshop on anorectal diseases. President, Chairman Sri JJ Cooperative Hospital Society Ghataprabha Sri B.R. Patil avare, Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Science Karnataka Bangalore Registrar Dr. K.B. Lingegowda avare, Commissioner Department of Ayush Government of Karnataka Bangalore, Guest of Honor Srimati Meenakshi Negi IFS, DIG ITB Police Belgavi Sri Harinder Pal Singh avare, Chief Executive Officer Cooperative Hospital Society Ghataprabha Dr. B.K.H. Patil avare, Dr. Mahesh Sanghvi, President Ayurved Protocology Association, Sri A.N. Karlingan, our Vice President, Dr. J.K. Sharma, Principal, J.G. Ayurvedic Medical College, Ghataprabha, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಬಿಗಿನರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ಮಯ, all are speaking in English. Our CEO, B.K.H. Patil also so many times. You are speaking in Kannada, but he is also today in English. Mahesh, English and Hindi. Negi, police office sing in English. And madam, you know Kannada, even though he delivers his words in English. And our Lingegaudru, you know Kannada very well. And for you, he spoken in English. Okay. I know Kannada. How many you are know Kannada? Okay. ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. I'm very happy. I speak in Kannada because I have come from Karnataka and my mother tongue is also Kannada. So on this dais, I speak in Kannada. Okay? This institution, Sahakari Samsthe, ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳು 80 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಹಿಂದೆ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ 70 ಎಕರೆ ಜಮೀನನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಆವಾಗಿದ್ದಂಥ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಅವರು ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಬಂಧುಗಳವರು, ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಘವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಸಂಘದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವ ಏಕೈಕ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಇಂಥಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋರು ಕೂಡ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೋಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಭಾಳ ಜನ ಹಿಂಜರಿತಾರೆ. ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಕಾರ್ಖಾನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೋದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿವಸಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವೆಲ್ಲವುಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಈ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾಗಿದ್ದು ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಬದುಕಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕತೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮೆಚ್ಚಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪಾಟೀಲರು. ಸುಮಾರು 30 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಅವರು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸುಮಾರು 12 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿ, ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ಅವ್ರ ಕಾರ್ ಎಂಥದ್ದಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ತಿರುಗಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ? ಮಾರುತಿ 800ನಲ್ಲಿ ತಿರುಗಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಬಹುಶಃ ಇಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಮಹರ್ಷಿಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದಿನಮಾನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಭಾಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾದಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೀಗ 78 ವರ್ಷ, 80 ವರ್ಷ ಸಮೀಪಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ರಾಜಕಾರಣನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆದರೆ ಈಗಿನ ರಾಜಕಾರಣ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂದೇನು ಗೌಡಿಕೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅವಾಗ ಗೌಡಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥವ್ರು ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ. ಗೌಡಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕತೆ ಇದೆ, ಸಮಾಜ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಕಳಕಳಿ ಇದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇಂಥವರು ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ರು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಂತವ್ರವರೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸು. ಅವರೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಂಗ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆ ಬಲ್ಲಿದರಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕತೆಯಿಂದ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮಾತ್ರ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಕಲಿತವರು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಕಲಿತಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದವರು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳನ್ನೇ ಡಬ್ಬಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಕಲಿತವರೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಂಗ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆ ಬಾರದೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಥ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾದ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇವರು ಹಳ್ಳಿಯವರು. ಇವರು ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಂಥ ಜನ, ಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದವರಲ್ಲ. ಒಬ್ಬರೂ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಜಗಳ ಆಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಜಗಳ ಆಡಿದರೆ ಅದು ಸಹಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಜಗಳ ಆಡಲಾರ್ದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೊರಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಭವಿಷ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ದೇವರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಪಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಬಯಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರೋ ಜನ್ರೇಷನ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಬ್ಬರು ಪಾಟೀಲರು, ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ CEO ಪಾಟೀಲ್, ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ BR ಪಾಟೀಲ್, ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್. ಆ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಪಾಟೀಲರು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಲಿ, ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ CEO ನೀವು ಬಂದ ನಂತರ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ವಿಷನ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಲೆವೆಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತೀರಾ. ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಒಬ್ಬ CEO ಆಗಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಉತ್ತಮ ಸರ್ಜನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ದಿವಸ 15ರಿಂದ 20 ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಇಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡಂಥದ್ದು, CEO ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಭಾಳ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಮಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ನಾಷ್ಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಮಲಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಗೆ. ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನದ ಊಟ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಜೆಯ ಟೀ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷವೂ ಕೂಡ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರುವ CEO, ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ನು, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸು, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಇದೊಂದು ಗ್ರಾಮಾಂತರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ, ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ. ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದು ದಾಪುಗಾಲನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಏನು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ನೀವೇನು ನಮ್ಮ ಗೌಡ್ರು, ಲಿಂಗೇಗೌಡರು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಬ್ಬ ರೋಗಿಗೆ, ಅಪ್ಪ ನೀನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಹೇಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ವೈದ್ಯ ತನ್ನ ಅಂತಃಕರಣದ ತಾಯ್ತನದ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಆಡಿದರೆ ಅರ್ಧ ರೋಗ ಹೊರಟೋಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ವೃತ್ತಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಬರೀ ದುಡ್ಡು ಮಾಡೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿರೋ ವೃತ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲ, ಮಾನವೀಯತೆಯನ್ನು ಇಡೀ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದುದ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ಹರಿಸುವ ಸಲುವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ವೃತ್ತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಮನುಷ್ಯತ್ವವನ್ನು ಬೆರೆಸಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವೈದ್ಯ ವೃತ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ನೀವು ಪವಿತ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ಮಾತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಗ್ರಾಮಾಂತರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಲಕ್ಷಾಂತರ ರೋಗಿಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡು ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಫೀಸನ್ನು ವಸೂಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಇದಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪವಿತ್ರವಾದ ಒಂದು ಧ್ಯೇಯವನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಲಿಂಗೇಗೌಡರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲನ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದರು. ನಾವು ಬಂದು ಇಳಿದು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಂಕನೇ ಅವರು ಉದ್ಗಾರ ತೆಗೆದದ್ದೇನು ಅಂದರೆ, ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆಯುರ್ವೇದಿಕ್ ಕಾಲೇಜು ಇನ್ನೂ ನಾವು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹಿತ ನೋಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಭಾಳ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾದ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಲಾನ್ ಹಚ್ಚಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ ನೀವು, ಲಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂತೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಇಂಥ ಲಾನು ಇಂಥ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಆ ಲಾನಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದರು ಅವರು. ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮವಾಗಿ ಗಮನಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ವೈದ್ಯ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೃದಯವಂತಿಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಸ್ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಅವರು ಇವರಿಗೆ ಮಾಲಾರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆವಾಗ ನಾನು ಈ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ದು ಇನಾಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ನಾನು ಚೀಫ್ ಗೆಸ್ಟೇ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಅವರ ವಯಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸಿದಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಲಿಂಗೇಗೌಡರು, ಅವರು ಗೌಡರಾಗಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಯಜಮಾನ್ರೇ ನಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಲಾರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದರು. ನೋಡಿದ್ರ ನೀವು, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಹೀಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಬಹುಶಃ ಎಂಥ ಒಂದು ಉದಾತ್ತವಾದ ನೈತಿಕ ಮೌಲ್ಯ ಇದು. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ, ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡಿನ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ಒಬ್ಬರು ವೈದ್ಯ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪರಿಣಿತರಾದಂಥ ಈ ವೈದ್ಯರು, ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾರ್ ವೈದ್ಯರು ಇಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಹಚ್ಚಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹತ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಿಲ್ಲಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಚೀಫ್ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಅವರೇ ಇದನ್ನು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸರಿಸಿದರು. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಠಗಳನ್ನು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇಂಥ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದದ್ದು ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಒಂದು ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟ ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇವತ್ತು ಅಳೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಳೆದು ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಘನತೆ, ಗೌರವ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೊಳ್ಳೆಯ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಆಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೃತಜ್ಞ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾರೈಸಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಎರಡು ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
K. Sarma, HOD, Professor, Department of Kaya Chikitsa, to propose the vote of thanks.
Conference of the Proctology 2009, which is commencing from today to December 1st for 3 days. In this, I wholeheartedly convey my thanks to His Holiness Parama Puja Sri Man Maharaj Niranjan Jagat Guru Sri Guru Siddha Raja Yogendra Mahaswamiji of Mursavarmat, Hubli, for this for his kind presence and gracing this function. Thank you, Mahaswamiji. I convey my sincere thanks and heartfelt thanks to our chairman, sir, presidents of today's function, Sri B.R. Patil, sir, for his kind support and guidance for the successful completion of this function. Thank you, sir. I wholeheartedly convey my thanks to our chief guest and inaugurator of the function, Dr. K.B. Lingegowda, sir, Register Evaluation, Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore, for his gracious presence and inaugurating this national conference of the Proctology 2009. Thank you, sir. I convey my thanks to our guest of honor, Srimati Meenakshi Negi Madam, Commissioner, Department of Ayush, Government of Karnataka, for gracing this function. Thank you, Madam. I also thankful to our another guest of honor, Sri Harinder Pal Singh, DIG, Indo-Tibetan Police, Belgavi, for accepting this invitation and gracing this function. Thank you, sir. Chairman, sir, Sri N. Karninawar, for his kind presence during the conference, sir. I convey thanks to our dynamic Chief Executive Officer, Dr. B.K.H. Patil, sir, for his unstinted support and guidance since from the day of finalization of this conference, and also thankful to him providing all the facility for conducting this program at a conference, and thank you very much, sir. I am very much thankful to all our beloved directors who have the backbone of our institution and the ex-director and member of our society for their guidance and advice for arrangement of the conference. Thank you, one and all, sir. My words will fall short to convey the thanks to Dr. Mahesh Sanghvi, the President of Ayurveda Proctology Association, Mumbai, who is instrumental to bring this mega event, Update Proctology 2019. Thank you, sir. I am thankful to all the members of APA and the office bearers of the APA for their continuous support. Thank you, all of you. I am also thankful to Dr. Kurian Goswami, President of Sushrut Proctology Association, for his kind presence in this conference. I am very much thankful to all my teaching staff members, all the committee members, all my students, UG, PG, PhD scholars, and their relentless work to success or for making this successful conference for today. I also thankful to the organizing secretaries, Dr. Sachin N. Patil, Dr. N.H. Kulkarni, Dr. Prabhakar Naik, for their continuous hard work to make this grand success of this conference. I am thankful to the principal of other institutions who have come over here for this function. Thank you, all the principals who have attended our parents' institution. I am thankful to the manager of HU, L.S. Hilkal, for his continuous support and encouraging this conference. I am thankful to the medical officers who has been attended from Government of Karnataka for this function. Thank you, sir. I am very much thankful to the press reporters, media persons for their kind presence for this and covering this conference. Thank you, all the media persons. Thank you, sir. I convey my thanks to all the resource person, delegates who have come from far distance from different parts of the country for making this event grand success. I am also thankful to all the faculty members escorted their students. Thank you, one and all. I convey my thanks to all the non-teaching staff members, engineers, supervisors, electricians, plumbers, and the team of audiovisual system caterers for their nice arrangements of the function. Lastly, not in the least, I am thankful to Almighty for giving us the strength to conducting this national conference. Thank you. So this is our endeavor to conduct this national conference. It was a dream of us, and today we have made this successful inauguration of this conference by the presence of our Mahaswamiji. Thank you, one and all.
Now it's time for tea. Tea is arranged outside the auditorium hall. Thank you, one and all, for patient listening. Tea is arranged at the VIP dining hall.
These are my two logos. What I want to explain everything. First is Ubhayagno hi Visarga Rajarho Bhavati. What Susruta says in Adhyan Sampradaniya. If you are knowing theory and practical both, then you are more faithful, you are more useful to the king. Later on, King Susruta says, if anyone is practicing, those who are not knowing theory, then it is a Nrupa dosha. So each and every person should know theory as well as practical, then you are Ubhayagno. Second is Hastam eva pradhantamam yantram. So all instruments are useless unless your hand is not skilled. So skilled hand is essential. That is the second part. You should be a good practitioner. Next. So I start first anal canal. Generally what we are practicing, mostly all the diseases are from this area, and second is rectum. So initially we are taking anal canal. See, this is a main drawing of the anal canal. Here I want to like pointer. Which one? Yes. Anal canal. Almost all students, when they are reading the diseases or surgical aspects, the surgical anal canal is useful. It is from the anal verge to the anorectal ring. We will go again. And second is anatomical anal canal. It is useful to understand the congenital pathology as well as the disease of the malignancy. Because anatomical anal canal starts at the dentate line at edge and the anal verge. So above the dentate line, so this is the dentate line. Above the dentate line, everything is rectum for anatomical anal canal, whereas in surgical anal canal, anorectal junction, up to anorectal junction is the anal canal, and then above it is rectum. So if you are taking polyp, malignancy, or congenital anomalies, they will be seen at the dentate line, just above the dentate line. So while understanding the disease, don't interpret always, it is above the anorectal junction, it is above the anorectal junction. These are the difference between the surgical anal canal and anatomical anal canal. Surgical anal canal, understanding of the surgical anal canal is important. We have to understand the surgical anal canal. Next. So this is the theory part. The anal canal is the terminal part of the large intestine which allows the expansion during passage of the feces. It means when there is no stool, there should be no stool in the anal canal. If any stool is in surgical anal canal, it means there is fecal loading. If you are doing PR and any stool is palpable in the anal canal, it means fecal impaction or fecal loading or anything is there. One should understand it. Always anal canal must be empty up to the anorectal junction. Development anal canal, the endodermal cloaca, and that is a lower ectoproctodium. This is the part where the anal canal is developed, because anatomical anal canal is of two parts. That is an endodermal cloaca. Cloaca means in lower animals, lower birds particularly, they are excreting their waste through one canal, either urine or stool, both through the one canal. That cloaca is that part. Development of the anal canal is from endodermal cloaca, and lowermost is the ectoproctodium, that is the below the dentate line. So this should be understood. So congenital anomalies may be above the dentate line because it is a part of rectum. Next. Situated below the level of the pelvic diaphragm. It extends from the anorectal junctions. This we understand two parts. See, this is the pelvic diaphragm of one side. Second side is cut. This is the rectum passing through anal canal. So this is the anorectal junction from where the anal canal starts and ends at the anal verge. Next. So this is the lower view. It was the top view. This is the lowermost view. Here we can say these are male and female. This is the whole levator, any muscles. This is the anal canal. Anal canal starts, surgical anal canal starts at the pelvic floor, ends at the skin. Next. See, what is the length of now surgical anal canal? Now we will understand about the surgical anal canal, not anatomical anal canal. So surgical anal canal length there is a many views, 3 centimeter to 4 centimeter, average 3.8 centimeter is the length of the anal canal. So here we have given that is the length. The upper part about 15 millimeter, the middle part that is a 15 millimeter, and the lower part is 8 millimeter. Here you can see these are the 3 parts from here to here. This 15 millimeter up to the dentate line, then intersphinctic groove, and below the intersphinctic groove. These are the level where anal canal can be divided. Next. Now these topics to be understood in the anal canal. These are the dentate line, column of Morgagni, anal crypt or valve, anal dents and sphincters. These are the most important anatomical parts we have to know. I am not going details in each and every mucosal layer or everything because it is not the main topic here. Next. Now first dentate line. What is dentate line? It is the junction of the cloaca and ectoderm. So this is the junction. Most landmark we can see during the surgery. That is a mucosa when unites with the skin, that is known as a dentate line. Another name is pectinate line. Here, how does it forms? The mucosa is in columns, that is like curtain. When it unites at the end of at the junction of the dentate line, they makes some curves. So that particularly hollow area, next, that particularly hollow area is known as an anal valve or anal crypt. So anal valves together forms a transverse line that runs all around the anal canal. If you see the curtain here hanging, so upper margin have united, lower margin is free. If you make it reverse, then it looks like that. That is the anal valves. Situated opposite the middle of the internal sphincter. So this is the landmark. If you are doing sphincterotomy, it means you are dividing half internal sphincter because you are dividing the internal sphincter up to the dentate line. So it is the full length of the internal sphincter is divided at half. What is the benefit of dentate line? Above the dentate line, all nerve supply is autonomous. Below the dentate line, all nerve supply is somatic. So all painful area is below the dentate line. Above the dentate line, pain starts when there is inflammation, but not pricking pain. When there is a change in temperature, when there is a change in pressure. If you pull internal hemorrhoids downwards, there will be pain because it is a pulling pain. But if you will pass the needle, it will not be painful. So above the dentate line, everything is autonomous. Second is circulation. Above the dentate line is a portal circulation. So any infection above the dentate line may travel through the liver and may give septicemia to the liver. That is a portal pyemia. Below the dentate line, the circulation is systemic. So any infection will travel through the systemic circulation. And secondly, lymphatic drainage. It is a more important for malignancy. Any pathology of malignancy above the dentate line, the secondaries in the lymph nodes will be a mesenteric lymph node or para-aortic lymph nodes, whereas malignancy below the dentate line will be in the inguinal lymph node because it is a systemic drainage. Next. Anal glands. Second most useful point is anal glands. This is the structure. This is the anal gland. This is anal crypt. This is the anal gland. In human beings, there is no specific work of the anal gland. Otherwise, in other animals, anal glands are useful for sex erection. They produce some smell. That's why they attract to another. So in human beings, there is no role of anal gland. But these remnants can cause many pathology, particularly anorectal abscess in the man through this origin. This is known as the cryptoglandular origin. This is anal crypt, that is anal valve. Here the anal gland starts, and most anal glands ends in the submucosa. Certain anal glands travels to the internal sphincter, and sometimes, not routinely, sometimes it may travel into the external sphincter. So this is the total number of the anal glands may be 0. It means cryptoglandular origin fistula will not take place in that person. and some persons have 10. So more anal glands, chances of anorectal sepsis is more. Less anal gland, chances of the anal sepsis is less. So genetically we can say fistula is maybe predisposed. Okay, next. Internal sphincter. There are two sphincters, three layer walls. One is internal sphincter, second is conjoint longitudinal muscle cord, and third is external sphincter. So internal sphincter is a continuation. I will explain in the drawing in next slide. Internal sphincter is a continuation of the circular muscles of the rectum. So all circular muscles are available in the whole intestine. So these circular muscles are extended into the anal canal. That's why I say it is a embryological up to the last end of the internal sphincter. So internal sphincter is a continuation of circular muscle of the rectum, is caused to contract by sympathetic nerves and relaxed by the parasympathetic nerves. So it is an autonomous nerve supply. So if you are using any medicines like this, it will work here also. So if you are any medicines which are sympathetic nerve stimulant, it will create, patient cannot pass flatus easily, patient cannot pass stool easily. So medicine can give effect to the internal sphincter. So we can try it, like many Ayurvedic herbs are on sympathetic nerves working or many parasympathetic. We can use as locally as well as orally also. Next. Okay, 1 minute. Internal sphincter provides the resting tone. While we are not defecating, person is not defecating, there is a resting tone. Anal canal is closed almost. Some part is closed with the cushions. Otherwise, most part is closed by the internal sphincter. So if the internal sphincter are weak, patient may not close the complete anal canal. So while passing the flatus, patient may leak the liquid material. So if you are dividing internal sphincter, there will be some leaking in the closure of the anal canal, so there will be chances of leaking will be there. Next. Okay, back. So we can see here the anatomical part. This is the anal sphincter, internal anal sphincter. This is the external anal sphincter. In between, it is the conjoint longitudinal muscle cord. Next. So back. So conjoint longitudinal muscle cord. Routinely, it is we never try to understand these muscles. We consider it is useless. No, it is the most useful muscle. It is the most useful part of the anal sphincter tone, because now it is a continuation from the rectum of the longitudinal muscle cord. If you go through the anatomy of the colon has tinea coli. There is no longitudinal muscle cord in the colon. When sigmoid colon is ending and rectum starts, this tinea coli converts into the longitudinal muscle cord. It encircles the rectum. Then when this muscle comes down through the pelvic floor, forming the anal canal, some muscle fibers from the piborectalis enters in this area. So its name is conjoint longitudinal muscle cord. Now it converts into fibrous tissue rather than the muscle tissue. So when you dissect it, it will not look like muscle. It is just like a fibrous tendon, like that. So now it is, piborectalis is autonomous. Piborectalis is a motor supply. And longitudinal muscle has a autonomous nerve supply. But longitudinal muscle cord has a both supply. So if you will handle this longitudinal muscle cord in local anesthesia, it may not be complete anesthesia, because autonomous nervous system cannot be completely anesthetized with local anesthesia. So there will be some sensation there. These longitudinal muscle cords, when coming down, some fibers bifurcates. Some fibers crosses the internal sphincter, coming in the submucosa. Some muscle fibers coming to the crossing the external sphincter and entering in the skin. So here you can see it, some fibers like that. This is the longitudinal muscle cord. Some fibers is coming here, and then it is termed as a corrugated cutis ani. This muscle is termed as a corrugated cutis ani. Here, encircling corrugated cutis ani, it is a closed area. So any collection in this area is most painful because that cannot expand. So hematoma is more painful, perianal abscess is more painful. So any collection in this area will be more painful. While contracting the anal sphincter, this corrugated cutis ani closes the anal verge because the longitudinal muscle cords pulls inside. When levator ani is pulled upward, this pulls upside and corrugated cutis ani closes the anal verge. So again, in closing the anal verge, this corrugated cutis is useful. These muscle fibers, when crosses here, internal sphincter, there are terms either Tread's muscle or suspensory ligaments. The new theory which are promoting by the Stapler theory, all these ligaments are torn, so there is a prolapse, and then prolapse causes the bleeding. So this is the theory. So this is the pathological event from the longitudinal muscle cord, which breaks down, treats muscles, and this hemorrhoid starts. Again, one theory by some surgeons are that from this longitudinal muscle cord, some fibers are traveling external sphincter. And it is the path from where intersphincteric abscess can travel to the historectal fossa, anywhere. So this is the way from where the pus travels. So if any intersphincteric abscess is here, it may go up to the here. This is the anal septum. Below the anal septum, then it's a perianal abscess. Above the anal septum, then historectal fossa. It may travel and travel from the suprasphincteric area like that. So these fibers of the longitudinal muscle cords are useful as well as more problem creating. This is the source from where the infection can travel from one place to another place. Next. External sphincter. It is a voluntary muscle. So for continence it is most useful because we want continence voluntarily. So if this muscle is powerful, if any internal sphincter is divided, one can control if this muscle is powerful. But if this muscle is not powerful, it is weakened due to the age, due to the trauma, due to the bad habits of straining, then there will be incontinence. So because due to the somatics part of this is the most useful. There are three parts of these muscles. It is not useful, that is a subcutaneous part, superficial and deep part. These three parts are useful for the fistula classification, how to divide, how to not to divide. Otherwise, there is no major role of these three parts. Next. What is anorectal ring? We repeatedly say anorectal ring. What is the useful, how it is made? Anorectal ring is a combination of four muscles. First is internal sphincter, second is longitudinal muscle cord, third is external sphincter, and fourth is fibers of the puborectalis. That is a puborectalis. So when anyone divides anorectal ring, I say, then there will be a complete incontinence. If you are dividing some part of some sphincters, there will be no complete incontinence. So how much to divide, how much not to divide? We can use this anatomy. So one should be ready to understand the anorectal ring. The opening of the internal fistula, if it is below the anorectal ring, there will be less chance of complete incontinence. If it is above or at the anorectal junction, if you are dividing, chances of incontinence will be very more. So this muscular ring present is the anorectal junction. It can be felt by finger, so we can palpate it. Most prominent part is posterior part. Most absent part is anterior because there is no anterior puborectalis. So in anteriorly, anorectal ring is made of only three muscles. That is the external sphincter, internal sphincter, and longitudinal muscle cord. So if you are dividing these muscles anteriorly, due to lacking of puborectalis, chances of incontinence is more. So understanding of this anorectal ring is again this much importance. Third thing, If you give Kegel's exercise, ask the patient to do Kegel's movement during PR. You can notice how much the voluntary muscle tone is there of puborectalis as well as external sphincter. Simultaneously ask the patient to strain and see what happens. If full pelvic floor is descending down, then that type of constipation will be there. So during examination, one should always palpate the anorectal ring perfectly. If you can judge the anorectal ring tone, then choice of the surgery will be very easy. Next. So now I am going onto the rectum. So that's why I make this picture color. Up to here, that is the anorectal ring, and it is anorectal ring. Above it is a rectum, below is the anal canal. Here I have given the length. Today we have a surgery in the rectum for rectal prolapse. Proctoscope was passed up to, first suture was at 11. The first suture was at 11 centimeter up to here. Then second. You should not take sutures below the anorectal ring, because if you are taking deep sutures below the anorectal ring, you are closing all sphincters in one bundle. So this, if you are knowing anatomy, you can do perfect surgery. So knowing of anatomy is very much essential. Above this, if you are going, then rectosigmoid junctions will be very nearer, and you can fix it, you can close it. So don't go above it. Why? Up to 11 centimeter it is due. If patient's height is less, you should come down. Not up to 11, you should come down. Okay. Okay, next. Okay. There are the two functional parts of the rectum, upper part and lower. This is the functional part, upper part and lower part. There is the upper part. There is a peritoneum lies above the middle fold of the rectum. From where upper part starts. In the rectum, this is the upper, from here above it is upper part, from below this is a lower part. Rectum is covered by peritoneum in different parts at different level. Posteriorly it divides the peritoneum. There is a no thank you. Posteriorly there is no peritoneum. It means abscess coming from the peritoneum, routinely don't travel posteriorly. First thing, if you are taking biopsy above the peritoneal level, posteriorly there will be no peritoneal perforation. If you are taking biopsy from anteriorly above the peritoneal reflection, chances of peritonitis high. So this is a functional part. This is above the peritoneum and below the peritoneum. Laterally, peritoneum is covered in upper 1/3, and anteriorly it is covered in half. That is a half level. So this is like a peritoneal reflection. Act as a reservoir which can freely distend anteriorly. Upper part works as a reservoir. It is important. We have Uttar Gud and Adhar Gud. So if we want to understand everything, Ayurvedic terminology, we have to understand this. Okay, it is a reservoir of stool. It distends. When stool comes from into lower part, sensation starts of deification. So in upper part stool is collected, there is no sensation of deification. Okay. This rectum is developed from the hindgut, that is a endoderm. These are the endoderm, proctoderm is a ectoderm. And dentate line is a fusion of endoderm and ectoderm. Next. That is a lower part of the rectum, devoid of peritoneum, develops from the cloaca. So again this junction is a cloacal junction. Hindgut and cloaca. Dentate line is a junction of cloaca and ectoderm. So middle part, when the peritoneum is reflected, below it is a cloaca. In lower animals, urinary excretion and stool excretion both excrete in the cloaca, and that birds passes out. In human beings, this area is separated by different layers. So when there is a congenital fistulas, mostly this fistula is below the peritoneum. Either it may be rectovaginal or rectourethral, anything. It will be below the peritoneum. Lies below the middle fold. It is the empty in normal individuals, but may contain feces in cases of chronic constipation or after death. When you are doing PR, your finger passes above the anal ring and stool is there immediately. It means patient has no sensation. Otherwise, patient should pass the stool. Lower part of the rectum must be empty in individuals. If you are feeling there is a stool, it means उनको वेग वितरण की आदत है, उनके वेग की सेंसेशन चली गई है. You have to make the person to create the sense. When the stool is coming in the lower part, you should pass it out. In congenital disease, Hirschsprung disease, there is a ganglion deficiency in this part. So patient never develops sensation of defecating. When there is a too much load, due to the pressure, patient will pass some stool, otherwise it becomes dry and dry again. Being sensitive, it distension causes to desired defecate. This part is sensitive due to the cloacal region. When distended, distension sensation starts. It is a one type of sensation. It creates the act of defecation. Next. Houston's valve. I am not going in details. I have taken this information for that. Gananath Sen and other Ayurvedic academicians have considered 3 valli of this Houston's valve. I am not agree with them. So, but they have considered Houston's valve as a valve. So that's why I have only, there are 3 Houston valves, 2 on patients, 2 on left side and 3 on right side. So like that. So I am not going in detail, nothing more useful. Only useful part is that if you want to take biopsy, take at that level. Because mucosa is free, so perforation chances will be very less. If you want to take biopsy at the Houston valve level, so chances of perforation will be very less. How these Houston valves are formed, it is interesting for anatomy. In the rectum, circular muscle cord starts. Above the rectum sigmoid colon, there is a tinea coli. When tinea coli converts into the longitudinal muscle cord, now it cannot extend. Colon can extend, but this rectum cannot extend like this too much. So mucosa becomes becomes longer than the muscle wall. Mucosa becomes longer than the muscle wall. So mucosa converts into the fold. Otherwise, there is no much usefulness of these folds. Next. Fascias. Today morning there was question from Dr. Sanghvi for pre-sacral fascia. See, here are the fascias. How to understand this fascia? The rectum is covered by peritoneum, anteriorly half, laterally 1/3, posteriorly there is a no peritoneum. Where there is a no peritoneum, intestine should cover another layer. Intestine must have another layer. This muscle layer is nothing but investing fascia of the rectum, that is a fascia propria. That is known as a fascia propria. So all intestine has 3 layers, mucosal layer, muscular layer and serosal layer. Serosal layer is peritoneum, but where there is a no peritoneum, there is a investing fascia that is known as a fascia propria. So this fascia propria, that is a yellow, this fascia propria is circular. It attaches some pelvic parts in different angles, and in male with prostate, in female with vagina, and they form some ligaments like structures or something balancing act which prevents the rectum to descend, So these are the fascial structures where here it is a peritoneum, this is a fascia, this one is a presacral fascia. Presacral fascia is a fascia covering the periosteum of the sacrum. That is a presacral fascia. This presacral fascia starts from the spine to here, coming up to the levator ani. When it and there is one another fascia covering the rectum. Both unites here. Fascia is known for preventing the infection from one side to another side. Fascia is a too much tight structure. It don't allow easily pus to travel or malignancy to travel. So if the fascia is broken, there will be some problem. From this presacral fascia, one layer starts and coming to the rectum. one facial layer again, which hangs, which suspends the rectum. That is known as a rectosacral fascia, or it is a Voldier's fascia. It is termed as a Voldier's fascia. So when Voldier's fascia is disrupted, prolapse of chances are more. So if you are fixing the rectal wall to the presacral fascia, you are uniting two fascia simultaneously, so it prevents the rectal prolapse. So this is the, here it is known as a Voldier's fascia. That is a rectosacral fascia. Again, this creates two compartments for collection of blood or collection of the pus. Again, it creates two compartments. Similarly, when this fascia anteriorly covering the rectum unites with the another fascia which covers the prostate, there is some junction here. We cannot separate it easily. That is known as a de Novillers fascia. And some fascia are connecting laterally to the pelvic bone. There are the lateral ligaments. They are termed as a lateral ligaments. They contain the vessels. There was another question. If you transfix it, there will be a vessels. Vessels are entering through the lateral ligaments. We are encroaching the periosteum below it. So chances of encroaching the vessels are very less, in particularly posterior fixation. So this is the facial. I am not going in details how they develop, but these are the important fascias one should know for different surgeries and different pathologies. So it is a de Novillers fascia. Next. Now clinical anatomy. In a normal person, the following structures can be palpated by a finger passed per rectum. This is very useful. One should try to always consider it. Posterior surface of the prostate. Where the prostate is ended, that is a prostatic groove. It is the anterior anorectal junction line, because anteriorly you cannot palpate pivorectalis. So you cannot note down what is the anorectal ring level. If you pass the finger, there will be no sensation of ring anteriorly. How you will consider that this is the anorectal junction anteriorly, where there is a male prostatic groove, below it, it is an anorectal junction, above it is a rectum. In female, it is very difficult to isolate what is the anorectal junction anteriorly. So it is very there are many chances that you will divide anorectal junction anteriorly, and so incontinence will be more. Seminal vesicles and vas deferens. In females, perineal body, cervix, occasionally ovaries, if it are like that. In both the sexes, anorectal ring is palpable. Coccyx and sacrum, one should always palpate it. Ischiorectal fossa laterally, and ischial spine, and intersphincteric groove. These anatomical landmarks, one should always try to understand, to examine during the per rectal examination. Generally, what I have seen, when there are new beginners, they pass the finger directly in the rectum. They never examine anal canal. They never examine the anal canal. They pass their finger into the length of the anal canal is 4 centimeter. My finger's length is 9 centimeter. So if I pass my finger full in the anal canal, I will reach in the halfway of the rectum. So don't push the full finger in the anal canal while examining, while doing PR. First do examination of the anal canal, then anorectal junction, and then in the rectum. Next. Now another topic, very useful topic in the anatomy, these are the spaces. These are the potential spaces. What is the meaning of potential spaces? It is not a true space, just like peritoneal cavity or synovial cavity or pleural cavity. These are not like cavity. These are the potential. They are filled by mainly areolar tissue or fat. So there is no virtually cavity. But some collection can expand this cavity. If there is a collection, fat is dissolved, and some collection gets there. So these are the sites where the collection can take place. There are two main group of spaces. One is anorectal spaces and second is perineal spaces. These are the spaces where abscess can take place. So all anorectal abscess, anteriorly or posteriorly, we have to, if we want to understand, we should know the spaces. If we want to treat the fistula, we should know these spaces perfectly. So these are the anorectal spaces. Perianal, that is a marginal space, ischiorectal space, submucosal space, intersphincteric space, pelvirectal space or supralevator space, superior postanal space, deep postanal space, that is a retrosphincteric space, or retrorectal space. Next. So this is the drawing. Here we can see some, this is the intersphincteric space. Okay, this is coming. Here it is a perineal space between the internal, at the lower end of the internal sphincter and external subcutaneous external sphincter. That is a perineal space. This is hysterectal fossa. We will go in detail. Remember that hysterectal fossa is pyramid shape. Apex is away from the rectum, not towards the rectum. So if your probe is going high and laterally, don't try to make any opening there in the rectum, because it is going away from the rectum. So there cannot be internal opening there. So always this is the supralevator space. Supralevator space is a space above the puborectalis, between the peritoneum and pelvic diaphragm, that is known as a levator ani. One can enter through the intersphincteric space easily in the supralevator space. One cannot enter easily in supralevator space through the levator ani. So if pus is easily went there, it is always intersphincteric. Don't make from the levator ani. So here we can see these three spaces, one is supralevator, hysterectal, intersphincteric and perineal spaces in this drawing. Next. This is a lateral diagram. We can see another spaces here. This is a superficial postanal space. It is a part of the perineal space, nothing else. It is a part of the, but it is termed as a superficial postanal space. This is the deep postanal space. It is the space between the sacrococcygeal ligament and levator ani. Again, it is a potential space. In healthy beings, you cannot easily differentiate this space. When there is a pus collection, you can differentiate. When there is a blood collection, you can differentiate. Otherwise, it is not that much easy. There is a deep postanal space between the levator ani muscles, that is a puborectalis, some part of, and anacoccygeal ligament. This space gives the way to both hysterectal fossa. When there is a horseshoe abscess, the pus travels through this. Sometimes a directly abscess takes place in this. Pus doesn't travel to the hysterectal fossa. And above it, that is again it is a supralevator space. This is the fascia, and above it is a retrorectal space. Sometimes I have seen some MRI reports that pus is collected in retrorectal space. Then it is not possible, pus cannot travel in retrorectal space from the cryptoglandal origin. If it is a origin from the abdomen or something else, then pus can collect in the retrorectal space. Next. So now we will try to understand hysterectal fossa in detail. So this is the axial view of the hysterectal fossa. So this is the anterior perineum, that is a urogenital triangle. This is below is a anal triangle. So when the pus is collected anywhere in the hysterectal fossa, pus can travel in three directions from the hysterectal fossa, in three directions. These are known as the three recesses. One is horseshoe recess, that is known as deep postanal space from here to here or from here to here. Pus can travel from here to gluteal, below the gluteal muscles, that is known as a posterior recess. From there, pus can travel up to in the leg, so in thigh, etc. So this is a posterior recess, this is a horseshoe recess. Pus can travel below the collis fascia. Not below the perineal membrane, below the perineal membrane. That is a deep pouch of the anterior perineum. Pus can travel there and pus can go up to the pubic bone. So when patient come to you and that there is some micturition problem, everything, don't try to open this pus in the inguinal region. Always try to open in hysterectal fossa, because pus is traveling from hysterectal fossa to anterior recess to the pubic bone, that side. So one should understand this all three recesses. Next. So here I have given another diagram how the anterior recess pus is traveling from the ischial fossa. So you can see that everything is written there. What is the deep perineal pouch, where everything is here in drawing. Here many spaces are simultaneously given. Everything. I have given some marking there, so you should not have to read everything, what is written. This is a perineal space. This is a perianal space. Perineal space can extend laterally up to in gluteal region also, but it is not ischiorectal abscess. Some have termed as ischioanal abscess and ischiorectal abscess. Ischiorectal fossa is a different thing. Ischiorectal abscess is different thing. Ischiorectal abscess can take place from the perianal abscess or directly from the ischiorectal abscess. So pus can travel from ischiorectal abscess to the skin, or perineal abscess pus can enter in the ischiorectal fossa simultaneously. So there are many spaces. This drawing is useful to understand the definition of the Bhagandar. Bhaga, Guda, Basti, Pradesh, Dharanat Bhagandar. So here there are many spaces related to the Guda Pradesh. Now later on we will see regarding the Bhaga Pradesh, then Guda Pradesh. So we can understand everything. Next. Now we will understand perineal spaces. That is the anterior triangle of the perineum. Till now we have learned the anatomy of the anal triangle, that is a posterior triangle, that is anal canal, rectum, ischiorectal fossa, everything it is from the anal triangle. These are the perineal spaces. This is a subcutaneous and skin. That is a subcutaneous space, it is between the skin and collis fascia. It is known as an anterior perianal abscess, nothing else. It is called as an anterior perianal abscess, nothing else. Another space is between the collis fascia and perineal membrane. That is a superficial pouch or superficial space. Most anterior fistulas are from here. Laterally it is a ischio-cavernous muscle, medially it is a bulbospongious muscle. MRI will write down, okay, this muscle here, this muscle here. We will have a fear that what it can do. It is a very easy process. You can drain this superficial perineal space easily. This is a deep space. It is a perineal membrane between, and actually it is not a true space nowadays. It is part of the anterior recess, that is ischiorectal fossa. Initially, before 15 to 20 years, this space was considered a different space. Nowadays, it is not considered a different space. Next. So, what I explained, I am concluding here everything. This is the ischiorectal fossa. Pus can travel. This is a superficial transverse perineal muscles. There will be a deep transverse perineal muscles. Pus can travel below the deep transverse perineal muscles anteriorly. That is the anterior recess. This is a anterior perineal space. Below this is a posterior perineal space. This is just ischiorectal fossa. Pus can travel like this. Next. Now we will have some Ayurvedic views, not detailed Ayurvedic anatomy, related to pathology and physiology. What is the meaning of Guda? We say there are two niruktis for Guda. The one is Guyate anena iti Gudam. Guyate means Purisam utsrujate. From where pus is, from where feces is excreted. Second is Guda Kridayam. Because it is a cloaca, not in human beings. Because it is a cloaca, birds have their relation to the cloaca. That's why they have cloaca is termed as a Guda. So Guda Kridayam. All three female openings are there in cloaca. So that's why Guda Kridayam. But in human beings, this definition is not perfect. In human being, this definition is very useful. It means what? Voltage. Okay. Guyate anena iti Gudam. Next. The second word is Gudasti Vivar. Gudasti Vivar Sansrita in Asmari Chikitsa. They have turned it. So there is a cavity. That is a perineal cavity or pelvic cavity. We can consider as a Gudasti Vivara. We can use this term wherever we want to convert it. Next. Now we will try to understand Kosthanga and Asaya. This is a reference from Charak Saristan. Panchadasa Kosthangani Tadyatha. I have not Nabhischa. Most important, Purisadhara, Pakvasaya, Uttargudda, Adargudda, Stulantram cha. See, these all are from the colon, large intestine. All are. Here are all